You ready?
Excuse me. Now that I have your attention, may I ask you this question? Why do you believe police brutality continues to exist in this country? Do you believe it to be a systemic problem, or should we judge police misconduct on a case-by-case basis? And what's your opinion on the best course of action to solve the problem? Well, you have come to the right place. You're listening to LA's all-new progressive talk radio station. Of the people, by the people, for the people.
Hey, I sure appreciate that.
It's KBLA Talk 1580. And we got you covered round the clock. Racism, we got you. Progressive politics, we got you. Health and wellness education, we have you covered.
We're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people.
A black-owned and operated, evidence-based alternative radio station for progressive, open-minded people like you and me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Welcome home, LA. We're all in this together.
Let's get it on.
It's KBLA Talk 1580, broadcasting from the heart of LA's Leimert Park. We've got a lot to talk about.
We are going to have to fight. We're going to have to struggle. We're going to have to struggle relentlessly to bring about some peace.
Just begun. Got a temper like a gun, pointing it at everyone. That's his game, and it helps him to get through the day. But a voice inside him says, how much longer can I play? He's got infinite possibilities, I can see them now. It's the unbroken chains of his past by which he's bound.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
Saharah Ali is a meditation instructor, a yoga teacher, a sound bath expert, and a life coach, among other talents. Astrologer, one of those. Saharah Ali, happy Monday.
Good morning, Dominique and the KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind, body, through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with faith, truth, wisdom, and power. We have the last full moon of the year, Wednesday, in Gemini, conjunct Mars, which is making all of this crazy stuff happen. But it's asking us to honor our inner strength and step unapologetically forward, trusting our power and our inner wisdom. The Gemini full moon is called the cold moon, bridging the gap between our past and the future. The call to action is to shine our light, to open our hearts, reflecting on truth and the manifestation of our future. We benefit by gathering with our loved ones to reminisce with gratitude, embracing wholeness, celebrating our ancestors, and opening to the celestial wisdom that 2022 has given us. It is the last full moon, which initiates various spiritual energetic frequencies, calling forward our blessings for 2023. The gift is to lean into the wisdom of Matthew 7, verse 7. Ask and it will be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will open. Going forward with our Mindful Monday meditation, think about that. Matthew 7. Think. Ask and it will be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will open. So with our meditation, take a moment right here, right now. Quiet your mind, quiet your body, get centered, and just breathe. Check in with your feelings. Inhale. Just pause. Now exhale, listen to your breath and quiet your mind. Inhale, feel your heartbeat. Feeling your heartbeat in your mind, ask the Most High to bless you. Exhale, open yourself to receive. Inhale, allowing yourself to breathe in a fresh perspective, seeking the divine, honoring the wholeness that already exists in you, calling forth your favor. Exhale, letting go to receive, letting go, opening to guidance, letting go, allowing infinite possibility. Inhale the willingness to allow change and closure to unfold, to bring clarity to your future. Hold that breath. Now exhale with gratitude, opening to inner peace. Inhale, relax, feel that peace. Exhale, trusting the manifestation of your highest good, knowing that you will receive what you ask for. Inhale, open to receive with grace, open to divine guidance and the wisdom of your ancestors. Exhale, accepting, believing all things are possible. Inhale, embracing our Mindful Monday affirmation. Exhale, pause for a moment, center yourself, bring in all that we've just shared. And now take the biggest breath you've had all morning. And as you exhale, speak kindly to yourself with love, our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Relax and breathe. Exhale and breathe. Today, I practice gratitude, embracing my future, celebrating wholeness here and now. Today, I practice gratitude, embracing my future, celebrating wholeness here and now. Today, I practice gratitude, embracing my future, celebrating wholeness here and now. Thank you, Dominique. Tavis Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindfully blessed full moon week, practicing closure with gratitude, being here and now.
Thank you, Saharah Ali. So Wednesday we got this full moon in Gemini, last full moon of the year. You said, does that mean I need to zip in and let other people talk? Am I going to be out of control with the full moon in Gemini and all this Mars energy? Do I need to just first things first, hosted by Miles Lowe? Am I going to get myself in trouble, Saharah Ali?
Might could be.
Oh, no.
Might could be. But the thing is, I was looking at it, and Mars and Gemini, it's the longest transit we ever had with Mars, and it's going until March 2023. I thought it was going to be over in February, but March 2023. So the gift is to allow us to reframe how we think, how we communicate, and how we conduct ourselves, and what we do with our thoughts. And so the gift is, it's like Matthew 7, ask and you shall receive. Think about what you want, not what you don't want, and put action behind your words. That's the gift of it.
Because this Mars Gemini energy, this is not just impacting Geminis. This impacts everybody because Gemini is over communication, right? So these sharp words and feisty exchanges that we've been having is going through March. It's just that I happen to be Gemini, so it's and I talk for a living, so it's worse. So I'll be yelling at you till March. Just breathe.
Yeah, but the biggest gift is that we get to see results from the words that we speak. And we get to put action behind what we stand for. So as you think, so shall it be. As you speak, step in it. Okay? So the other thing, and I have to tell everybody, be careful driving, be in all travel, because Gemini rules travel, you'll see some crazy accidents. Like, how did that person get on the roof like that when the roof is over there? So the thing is to be mindful, to think about what you want, not what you don't want, and allow yourself to celebrate the truth that you stand in, and just be cognizant of how you navigate. And also understand what you put out there comes back because it's retrograde. Rethink, review, reevaluate, reframe all your actions.
You're talking about Mars retrograde, not Mercury retrograde. Yeah, because we have a Mercury retrograde on the horizon, I think.
Okay, but the thing is, Gemini rules Mercury. So it's still about rethinking, reevaluating, renegotiating. Any retrograde planet is that. So even if Saturn is retrograde, then you think about what your power is, renegotiate your power. So anytime you have the RE in front of or the RX is to do over. Or pay attention.
Yeah, well, with that full moon and the Mars in Gemini, it sounds like a good week to take a lift or stay home or just give yourself extra time. Yeah.
Or go in the world behind your eyes and get prayed up. Yeah. Make some magic. Call on the ancestors. This is the season of gratitude. It is the season of receiving, and it is the last hoorah before we get to 2023. So reflect and take the trash out and think about what new beginnings you would like to engage in 2023, because 2023 is a 7-year, and it's all about spiritual truth. It's all about rebuilding relationships. It's all about the frequency of balance.
Good stuff. I can see we're going to have to start out the year with some maybe some astrology readings on the air, just, some real reflection. But I appreciate your insights right now. It is also Sagittarius season, so there's that energy as well.
This is opposite Mars and Gemini, so the whole thing, be a Sag, tell the truth, show up, use wisdom.
Be a Sag, tell the truth, whether people like it or not. That's what
whether they like it or not.
That's what Sagittarians do. As Saharah Ali is actually a Sagittarian. Well, I thank you for the little extra chit chat with me today, because I heard that last full moon of the year, Mars and Gemini. I was like, oh no, I'm going to be like Herschel Walker and turn into a werewolf.
I don't think that's not possible for you. Your ancestors won't let you do that, okay?
Saharah Ali, thank you so very much. If you want to find out what Saharah's up to, maybe get a personal sound bath or go to one of the sound baths that she curates, a yoga class, get some life coaching, go to SaharahAli.com. It's SaharahAli, SaharahAli.com. Saharah, I found out folks don't know how to spell, basic things. Saharah Ali.
There's a KBLA special, so if you call, just tell Elise that you're from KBLA, and she'll give you nothing but love.
That's 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783. That has been Mindful Monday with Saharah Ali. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. And now it's time for you to call me if you want. It's time to chop it up. Freestyle phones means anything is on the table. But if you don't have anything on your mind, I certainly have many things on mine, and we will break them down when we come forward. KBLA, Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
DionRambo.com, that's me. I am Rambo, teaching you about contracts at the Westin Hotel, December 17th. That's coming up, December 17th. It's all free, sponsored by Linda Street. Listen, this is important. When you go to DionRambo.com, you'll see I have LA County coming, the mayor's office coming, the city coming, prime contractors coming, everyone, and they can only talk for 6 minutes each. I take contracting very serious. You should too. DionRambo.com. See you December 17th. DionRambo.com.
Sparkly and shiny and bold and bright. And this holiday season, Ulta Beauty has something for everyone on your list, even you. Because our kind of holiday is you having your kind of holiday with incredible must-haves like the Dyson hairdryer and a new limited edition blue, shimmery palettes from Morphe and Tarte, plus fragrances from Ariana Grande and more. So revel in that holiday bliss. Head to your local Ulta Beauty or buy online and pick up in store. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 85% water, right?
85% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
At Cedars-Sinai, we're honored to be named the #1 hospital in California and the #2 hospital in the nation in U.S. News and World Report's Best Hospitals Honor Roll. We're also proud to be named #1 in 6 specialties in Los Angeles. Thank you to our physicians, nurses, academic leaders, and thousands of other team members who bring their best to Cedars-Sinai every day. Learn more about our top-ranked care at cedars-sinai.org.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Right now, well, speaking about karma, righting your wrongs with looking at your future and your past, it was kind of funny. Did you hear the story about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson going back to this store in Hawaii where he used to shoplift every week? He used to steal Snicker bars from this one particular store. And he decided to go back there and buy up all of the Snicker bars that they had. He said he shoplifted a Snicker bar from this one particular 7-Eleven every day for a year. So he wanted to undo his karma. So he went back and bought them out, all of the Snicker bars that they had there, and he gave them to the clerk at the counter. He said he exorcised the chocolate demon. And then he bought the groceries and things for some of the people who were in the store at that moment. He says we can't change the past, but we can add a little. We can't change the past and some of the dumb stuff we've done, but every once in a while we could add a little redeeming grace note to that situation and put a smile on some strangers' faces. Of course, not all of us are going to grow up to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, fabulously rich and super muscly movie stars. However, I just like the spirit of that story for this season when we reflect on the past, the year that's passed, where we are in our lives, where we want to be in 5 years, 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 weeks, short-term, mid-range, long-term goals, small and attainable and achievable goals, and big grandiose visions. And so I like that. I thought it was kind of sweet. It was, you don't necessarily have to go buy every Snicker bar. Maybe it's reaching back to a relative or friend and having that conversation to undo some harm that you did or some harm that was done to you. The government of Iran seems to be moving to shut down the morality police. The morality police are people that go around basically citing women, jailing women, harassing women for what they wear. And there was a senior official who said they had abolished the police. That protesters have say that they haven't been seeing them on the streets, but there has been no official declaration that they're gone. However, this would be a huge win for protesters there who have been in the streets for months, literally, because a young woman who was killed in custody of the government for violating the dress code. Literally, that's what it is, violating the country's dress code. So if this holds up, it would be a win for protesters, and Western press is at least reporting that they're seeing more women walking around, not with their heads not covered or not following that strict dress code. The Georgia runoff is tomorrow. Warnock and Walker now are in the final hours of their campaigns. Senator Warnock seems to be everywhere. He has been at churches. He's been at community events. He's been in the black community, the Asian community. I mean, he's like trying to go everywhere, be everywhere, talk to everyone. Herschel Walker has taken a different approach. He seems to be, nowhere or not much of anywhere. He's been avoiding reporters and sticking to hardcore MAGA type crowds as he, tries to win. I mean, he's the latest polling is showing him slightly behind, but who trusts polls anymore? He seems to have gotten more and more scandals. I can't even keep track of them anymore. There was a woman who came forward talking about how he used to beat her up or attempt to beat her up, intimidate and terrorize her. Another woman talking about how he held a gun to her head. And these are all live televised interviews. So these are women who are willing to come forward and speak publicly, and women with receipts. Does it make a difference? I don't know. It seems that the MAGA folks and even some of the, evangelicals, they have made a deal. To me, it's a deal with the devil, but call it what you will. They've made some kind of deal where in exchange for having an extreme court that will overturn Roe versus Wade, in exchange for things that they deem important, such as taking away religious freedom. And what I mean by that is these decisions like, yes, you can pray on school grounds, which then the next step after that is you have to pray on school grounds, which is moving us more towards something similar to Iran, a theocracy, a government where there's no separation of church and state. In any case, they're willing to support someone who clearly does not meet their moral standards, their ethical standards, their spiritual, their theology, to put it plainly. I mean, how is a man that talks about grabbing women by the private parts your champion for morality? But they've made that deal, and it may be that deal holds up for Herschel Walker. I also think that I'm hoping that the news that we're hearing, that we're seeing an unprecedented number of voters in Georgia, not just because of all the voter suppression where they've narrowed the window of time people have to vote, which means, of course, there's going to be lines because there are fewer days to actually vote, but because people are alarmed, right? Young people are coming out in greater numbers. We're seeing more Asian American and Latine voters, which is probably good news for Senator Warnock to keep his job. And my fingers are crossed. I'm sure you probably heard the 45th president, Trump, he actually called for a termination of parts of the Constitution. Like, what are you, an emperor? I mean, the whole point of a constitution is that one monarch, one dictator doesn't just get to say, and I don't like that part. That amendment, I don't like that one. That First Amendment, can we just terminate that? He wants to, slice and dice the Constitution so he can be president again. And he said this on Truth Social. Of course, no one would know about it because hardly anyone's on Truth Social. But of course, those of us in the media, I mean, you can't not report on this because this man is still a viable candidate to be president again in 2024. He says a massive fraud of this type, talking about the big lie that he says the election was stolen, allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. So if you lie and say that the election is stolen, if you're a sore loser, that means we can suspend the Constitution. That's really the opposite of what a Constitution is meant to be. The prevaricating president is what I call him because he doesn't mind lying. He's the only president to be impeached twice. But again, a viable candidate for 2024. So if, you thought this was hyperbole about saving our democracy, maybe now it seems more real to you. Some Democrats, some Republicans are coming out, like Mike Turner, it was on the House Intelligence Committee, is a Democrat, say he vehemently and absolutely disagrees with what the president said. Some other Republicans coming out and disagreeing with him. But the thing about it is, of course you're going to say that. I mean, it's a low bar, is all I'm saying. Oh, you don't think we can just cross out parts of the Constitution? Reminds me of Sharpie Gate. Remember when the president disagreed with the trajectory of the hurricane, so he took a Sharpie to the map? That's what he wants to do to the Constitution. And so, I guess nothing unusual there, only just that it's, again, saying the quiet part out loud, and this is what we're up against in 2024. Talked a little bit about Brittney Griner and just the horrible conditions that she's facing. And I just want us to remember to say her name and keep lobbying for her to be released. She should be out. She can be out. And that is just a horrific, horrific place to be for anyone. But imagine if you're a famous basketball player. She's a star in Russia, not just here. Who's also famously LGBTQ plus and obviously African American. Wow, really bad conditions. I was so sad to see Senegal knocked out of the World Cup. They're my favorite team, voted handsomest team by Dominique DiPrima and her committee of one, but also I love to see African nations do well on the world stage. Cameroon beat Brazil, but they also are not moving forward. And the USA team, of course, was taken out over the weekend by the Netherlands. The Netherlands, an experienced and top-tier team all the time. The U.S. team pretty young. What it means is, they'll be one to watch at the next World Cup. But many people in this country, soccer aficionados, happy to see them do as well as they did and go as far as they did in their pursuit of the world stage. The U.S. has never been a soccer powerhouse, but these things change. These things change. Said I was going to talk about the January 6th report. We didn't get to it last week, but let's get to it this week. It's something I'm looking forward to. A gift to me, you, and everyone. And it's absolutely free this holiday season. That and more after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
We hope you have a safe and relaxing holiday season.
Mask up and stay safe.
At KBLA Talk 1580,
we've got a lot to talk about.
And your voice is critical to all the conversation. Happy holidays.
I'm Mike Moore, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Anti-Semitism is an old disease. That's according to incoming Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Appearing on NBC's Meet the Press, the country's longest-serving prime minister explained that hatred of Jewish people has been around for thousands of years and it's not going away. Netanyahu refused to solely blame former President Trump for the rise of anti-Semitism in the U.S. Georgia's closely watched Senate race is in its final stages. Recent polling shows Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock has a narrow lead over Republican challenger Herschel Walker ahead of Tuesday's runoff. Both candidates are African American. Early voting wrapped up in Georgia over the weekend with more than 350,000 people casting their ballots on Friday alone. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Starting with the crash in Downey on the 5 northbound at Lakewood Boulevard. They made it to the right-hand shoulder, but it's still pretty tough from Norwalk Boulevard. And you got a box truck stalled in Legion Park, partially blocking the ramp 5 southbound onto the 110 northbound. That's adding to the slow drive starting back at Zoo Drive. In Mid-City area, the 10 westbound at Los Cienega Boulevard had a vehicle that conked out there. That made it into the center divider, but it's stop and go for Vermont Avenue. And a vehicle stalled in downtown LA on the 101 northbound at First Street. That's got the left lane blocked off.
Dell's Days of Deals start now with savings on select XPS laptops and Alienware PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors, plus savings on accessories and free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The following is a public service announcement for USC football coach Lincoln Riley and Chip Kelly at UCLA. Deion Sanders is in your neighborhood, and there's a good chance he'll be knocking on the front door of the top high school players in California. Deion is the new coach at Colorado after a fabulous run at Jackson State. Previous coaches at Colorado tried to recruit California talent. The difference is that the fathers and the uncles of today's top high school players saw Deion light up the NFL. Deion already has a commitment from Winston Watkins, a 4-star wide receiver from Fort Myers, Florida. Watkins was considering Texas A&M, but changed his mind when Deion was confirmed at Colorado. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're a slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
When you're the victim of a car accident, hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation.
Call on me, your MVP.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. I'm here with Lisa Stevens, Senior Business Consultant with Chase for Business. Lisa, what's one tip you'd give to business owners here in the Crenshaw area?
I love that you asked that question. I'm originally from Brooklyn, and I grew up in an area that's very similar to Crenshaw. So this is near and dear to my heart. And if I could only leave a business owner with just one, I would tell the business owner to identify their why. And I think that is so important because your why is going to be that strength on those days where you feel like you're struggling. Your why is going to be that stepping stone. Those days that you want to give up, your why is going to be the reason that you get back up.
And how would you advise business owners looking to acquire capital? What do they need to know before stepping inside the branch to ask for funding?
So 3 things. I do want to share this when it comes to the power of capital and just finding those resources. Understand that capital is a 3-part of a business, right? It's not always about the monetary piece, but if you first put that intellectual, right? What do I need to know? That social, who I need to know, that will help you to then package for that monetary piece. So no matter who you're banking with, you should know your banker. Never walk into a bank and you're transactional only.
It's just like Lisa to drop gems. I'm Maisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
Have you been court ordered to take parenting classes? Call 323-804-8469 for a free class. That's 323-804-8469. February 6th, courtesy of Strengthening the Black Village, a nonprofit organization.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
Ain't Too Proud is a celebration that brings the audience to its feet.
Ain't too proud to beg, as you know it.
The Grammy-winning songs, the Tony-winning movies. Ain't Too Proud, the life and times of the Temptations. Returning to the Amundsen December 13th. Tickets at AmundsenTheater.org.
We're not ratings driven.
We're engagement driven.
You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Check it out. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy birthday if you're a Sagittarian. The January 6th committee has a gift for you. They're going to be releasing a report. And of course, you know, Congress goes out on the 16th, which is just about 2 weeks from now. They go out for the rest of the year. But the January 6th committee, under the leadership of Congressman Benny Thompson, saying that they will likely have a report before Christmas. Love it, love it, love it. I don't suggest you talk with your conservative family members over the holiday about this. They may be salty. But I think it's great because what it will do is catalog all the work of that committee before Republicans take over and start spending the next 2 years investigating Hunter Biden and whatever else other not so good uses of their time they are planning to investigate. They're going to investigate Joe Biden. They're going to investigate Hunter Biden. Who knows? They might bring back Benghazi. It's all the greatest hits of the grievance, the far right-wing grievance movement. Meanwhile, it will do nothing to help you pay your gas bill. But that said, I expect that they will find enough time to attack Social Security and Medicare. Luckily, we did keep the Senate, and hopefully Warnock wins tomorrow, which would give at least Senate Democrats enough space with the chairmanship of those committees being clear and not split leadership to really get some things done in the Senate as far as confirming judges and bringing legislation to the floor, even if it is not able to pass through the House. This is a great, great holiday gift. We're looking at possibly before Christmas, but even if not, this report will land before Republicans take over the House, and they will dismantle that committee, I'm sure. It doesn't look like we'll get another full hearing, although it hasn't been ruled out. But the committee would automatically dissolve at the end of the year, and once Republicans take control, they will not put that back together. There's just no way. In fact, they're talking now, Republicans are, about forming a committee to investigate the committee. So not only will we be having useless, pointless, endless Hunter Biden hearings, we'll be having useless, pointless, endless investigations into the January 6th committee to try to discredit their findings because Republicans took a chance, made a dumb decision, McCarthy did, to not participate in that committee, which was great for us because we didn't have to hear them droning on and prevaricating, gaslighting, word of the year, gaslighting. We saw that every time, the Senate convenes and they do testimony, like, for example, the hearings for the Supreme Court justices, where you get to hear just gaslighting 101 by these senators. Didn't have to hear that because they took their football and went home. Well, they're going to try to do a do-over. Meanwhile, all of that evidence, all of the testimony, all of the filings, they're all going to be put together in one huge report that will be readily available for the U.S. Justice Department to peruse at their leisure, should they just happen to find more charges they want to bring against any of the co-conspirators in the attempted coup on our government, or any additional charges they may find appropriate to bring against the president and chief conspirator of January 6th coup attempt. That is good. It means that work of that committee, which has been so powerful in not just telling the story of what happened on January 6th, but finding out new things that we did not know, text messages and emails, and the extent of this conspiracy. Like, I didn't realize. I mean, they were planning this for months before the election, and Trump was involved, and people at the highest levels of his administration were involved. And this is all going to be available through this gift of a report for anyone, people who want to write books, Department of Justice, me and you. Yeah, the FBI will certainly enjoy it. And it is also going to have information on more people who have not yet been charged by the Department of Justice, which apparently there's about 1,000 people who could still be charged in connection with that attempted coup. So that is something nice, something good. I mean, it's too bad we have to have this good news. Like, it'd be better to have good news like we've got universal basic income for all. Medicare for all has been passed. Now our good news is we can hold people accountable for trying to overthrow our democracy and undermine the Constitution. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is still killing it at the box office, 4th straight weekend in a row. They have won the box office contest. I guess they got 13 million their first weekend, but that, I don't know, it doesn't seem that big for such a huge film, but maybe it is. One of the controversies has been that this film had to do that in fewer theaters than it opened in last time, and fewer theaters than those huge grossing films typically do. And I wonder why that is. So I think, once again, we're back to the formula of diminishing Black movies. Now, y'all know, if that listen all the time, that I wasn't over the moon about Wakanda Forever. It was fine. I'm not telling you don't go see it. I didn't absolutely love it. That said, I still think Black movies should get the same, if not better, accommodations as others, and I'm glad to see people are going out to support that. I'm a fan of Ryan Coogler. I'm a fan of many of the actors in the film, and I don't claim to be an expert on all things Marvel, so maybe you shouldn't even take my opinion into account. But I'm happy to see they're doing very, very well, and happy to see that they are, number one. Number one is good. What's good? Got to focus on what's good, not only and exclusively, but consistently. Because what Saharah Ali just said about focusing on what we want, that's part of staying strong, resilient, understanding that when we fight, we win, understanding that we are making progress every single doggone day. That is important. When we have setbacks, when we have craziness, the rise of the resurgence of fascism and things like that, it's important to focus on what's good and remember that we are the change. We make the difference. And it is true that when we fight, we win. Which reminds me, one of the things I find good is Black Xmas. This is where Black Lives Matter has supported and identified verifiably Black-owned businesses for us to patronize this holiday season, for us to recycle Black dollars, to try to spend the largest portion possible of our holiday dollars, whatever our festive tradition might be, or just our binge buying dollars, Black. And that's not just a call to action for Black Americans. It's for everybody. If you're progressive, if you're a person that wants to be an ally, that wants to be part of the solution, that believes in closing the wealth gap, then buying Black and Black Xmas should be for you. You can find out more at BLM Los Angeles website or their Instagram, because Black Xmas is started here but is now going national. They can show you places to go and find what you want to shop for. They can also support you as a Black-owned business. You got to be verifiable, because some folks like to masquerade as Black-owned when they have a Black manager or Black workers. But these are actually Black-owned businesses, and many of them are small local businesses that we can support in moving our dollars around within our community, which is one of the most basic things we can do to close the wealth gap and bring abundance and prosperity to our community. So I'm here for Black Xmas, and I hope you are too. Black Xmas is for Kwanzaa, for Christmas, for Hanukkah. Black Xmas is for you, even if you just celebrating a birthday. Black Xmas is really about recycling Black dollars. I'm Dominique DiPrima. Not too late to call me. 800-920-1580. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Will Smith opens up about the infamous Oscar slap. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. As a guest on The Daily Show, Will Smith opened up to Trevor Noah about the incident with the Oscar host and comedian Chris Rock at this year's Oscars. Will Smith, who won his first Academy Award later that night, was promoting his forthcoming film, Emancipation, when he spoke with Noah about what life has been like since the shocking incident.
That was a horrific night, as you can imagine. There's many nuances and complexities to it, but at the end of the day, I lost it. And you just never know what somebody's going through. Not that justifies my behavior at all. We just got to be nice to each other, man. The thing that was most painful for me is I took my heart and made it hard for other people. I understood the idea where they say hurt people hurt people.
Yeah. I'm Maisha Cairo, and that's your K-Black Minute News.
Leaving things half done? Not a good option. Like a half-baked peach cobbler.
A gummy crust? I don't think so.
A half-done hairdo.
All done.
Shouldn't the curls be on both sides?
Or a half of a domino.
Damn, big six.
But where's the other half?
Don't go halfway, especially with your immunity to COVID-19. Keep everyone safer this season by staying up to date with your vaccines and boosters. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find one near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Three-time WNBA champions, the Los Angeles Sparks, jump into their 27th season this summer with the most games ever in league history. This historic 40-game season means more world-class play in a city where the party never stops. Get connected to an unforgettable experience and secure your seats now at lasparks.com/tickets.
Central Neighborhood Health Foundation is a full-service network of federally qualified health care centers that serves local communities throughout Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. CNHF clinics provide low-cost to no-cost, compassionate, comprehensive, quality health care, which includes primary care services for chronic disease and diabetes management, pediatric and women's services, preventive care, vision and dental screenings, COVID-19 testing and vaccines, flu vaccines, behavioral health, HIV, and substance use services. Virtual telehealth visits are available from the comfort of your home with highly qualified physicians and medical professionals. CNHF also provides peer support specialist training and help with housing navigation. Central Neighborhood Health Foundation. Your wellness is our priority. Comprehensive care built on trust and respect. For more information, visit cnhfclinics.org or call 213-536-5815 today to locate a clinic near you.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station,
and your favorite morning show host.
Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
And now you're always invited in. My guest next hour for our deep dive is Maya K. Van Rossum. She's the author of The Green Amendment, The People's Fight for a Clean, Safe, and Healthy Environment. I love this conversation, looking forward to it, because she's got some real concrete things we can do to try to address the climate crisis in all of its really peril. Let's see. What did I want to talk about? There's a lot of things I wanted to talk about. I never seem to get to all of them. We haven't really talked about Tiffany Cross, who was dismissed from MSNBC. Of course, I mentioned it. Haven't gone deep, though. She is lawyered up. She's going to sue MSNBC. She wasn't fired. What happened is they didn't renew her contract, which means she doesn't have a show. So it seems like she was fired, but she wasn't. She's going against the network president, Rashida Jones, along with the network itself, MSNBC. She had a very popular weekend show, The Cross Connection, and it was canceled. Some folks said it was canceled. The rumor is, I guess, that it was canceled because all these people on the right were criticizing her. People like Tucker Carlson, Ann Coulter were blasting her and accusing her of being racist, which is ridiculous, calling her a race menace because they were getting called out on their stuff and because she was calling out white supremacy. There's other conversation, about what the relationships were like at the network. It always comes to relationships. But it is interesting that they haven't had a good track record of keeping their black talent, right? I mean, Melissa Harris Perry. I mean, we can go on. I know that Joy Reid is still there. The network president, Rashida Jones, is African American. And I hate that these two black women are being pitted against each other in this way. I just think it's interesting that people are saying she got fired. Like I was reading, I do read the Rupert Murdoch conservative rag sometimes, New York Post, because they have all the page 6, they have all the salacious gossip stories. And they say she got fired. She did not get fired. They did not renew her contract. However, she's got the same lawyer that represented Gabrielle Union when she sued NBC over her exit from America's Got Talent. And that is probably giving NBC pause. She had been on the air for 2 years. Her show was popular. They're saying that her show didn't meet their standards. And you know, I didn't realize that Tiffany Cross was like a protege of Al Sharpton, and that I knew she was at BET, but I didn't know she was like a mentee of Al Sharpton, and who's been surprisingly quiet on this issue. But, you know, I wish her well. I know the peril of being on the mic talking politics every day, especially as a black woman, because we get scrutinized more than most. So I wish her well. I really do. And you know, and I do think it's important that we, the consumers, pay attention and hold these folks accountable. Okay, why is it that you seem to have trouble holding on to black talent? Do we have a problem here? Loving that President Obama is bringing something he's done around the world back home here to the United States. Share that with you when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Strengthening the Black Village is a nonprofit offering free, effective Black parenting training to those court-mandated to take parenting courses, and we're open to others. Register for our February 6, 2023 course by calling 323-804-8469. That's 323-804-8469. Visit strengtheningtheblackvillage.org. That's strengtheningtheblackvillage.org.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
You do, and we're glad you're here. Just constantly engaging with us, just constantly supporting us, just constantly showing up. And I hope that you will show up. I'm sure that you will next Saturday, December 10th, when we are doing our Welcome Home Mayor-elect Karen Bass event in historic Leimert Park. If you want to be a vendor there, you absolutely can. Just email us info@smileyAudiomedia.com. And we'll get you all the details you need, everything that you need to know to be a vendor there. It's going to be street closures. There will be a crowd. The mayor-elect will be there. All you have to do is email us, info@smileyAudiomedia.com, and you can be a vendor at our Welcome Home Mayor-elect Karen Bass event Saturday, December 10th in Leimert Park. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. President Barack Obama and the Obama Foundation has a program that's trained leaders all over Africa, Europe, and the Asian Pacific region, training young leaders to step up in all different fields. And by young, they mean post-college all the way to 40, so like 25 to 40 years old. And now they are expanding this to the United States. It's a 6-month leadership development program, 24. You got to be 24 all the way up to 45. And it will take on 100 leaders in the United States in its first year. They're going to have competitive applications to be considered to be part of that program by the Obama Foundation. And I love that it's coming home because we need to develop our young leaders here just as much as anywhere else. And the president, the former 44th president, says that they have more leaders than they can even train. I mean, so many people are applying for this program. He says they're just scratching the surface. They've already worked with 700 people in Africa, Asia, Pacific, and Europe since they started this. And that's just in 2018. Since the president has left the White House, it has ticked up. And this U.S. extension is what Valerie Jarrett says is paying it forward for the next generation. So I think that's good news. We focus on what's good for a former president, who was the first African-American to occupy the White House, to be training the next generation of leaders. I'm always so encouraged when we step up, especially as BIPOC people, particularly African-Americans. For some reason, I just don't think succession planning, who comes in after me, is our strong suit per se. So I'm glad to see the Obama Foundation doing this. Yes, in Africa, yes, it's true that people need, training and governance and leadership in other countries, but we definitely need it here too. And I think that the modeling of succession planning, that it's not a competitive thing. We don't have to keep doing our jobs until we're 100. And even if we do, we still need to train the next generation of leaders and make room for them, their voices. I think that's role modeling that is important, and I'm happy to see it coming from the Obama Foundation. Talking climate crisis when we come forward after news, traffic, and sports, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore.